Proof the Soul Exists, Part 3, Final Part. Today we're going to look at two powerful lines of evidence to argue that the soul is real. If you close your eyes and picture a red apple, no neurosurgeon can open your skull and find an image of a little red apple inside. In rather the same fashion, the neurosurgeon Wilder Penfield spent decades stimulating brains during surgery and concluded that the mind and its experiences could never be fully explained by brain activity alone, pointing towards something non-physical coordinating the brain. The philosopher Frank Jackson sharpened this with his famous Mary the Color Scientist thought experiment. Even if someone knew all the physical facts about color vision, they would still learn something new when they first experienced the color red. This gap between physical description and inner experiences is what the philosopher David Chalmers famously calls the hard problem of consciousness. He also introduced the idea of a philosophical zombie, a being that is physically identical to you, has the same molecules, the same atoms, the same brain activity, but has no inner experience, no mental images, no felt pain. The very conceivability of such a zombie suggests that consciousness is not identical to the physical brain. There is something extra there, which we may refer to as the soul. The evidence is not just from philosophy and from conclusions from neurosurgery. There is empirical cases that we have, a wealth of empirical cases, where consciousness has persisted even though the brain has effectively shut down. That is exactly what is reported in a huge number of near-death experiences. The Lancet reports a prospective study of 345 cardiac arrest patients in Dutch hospitals, which was published by the cardiologist Pim van Lomme. Many patients reported structured, vivid experiences and accurate observations of what happened in the room when they were clinically dead. No heartbeat, no breathing, and no measurable brain activity, with the EEG going flat within seconds of cardiac arrest. One famous case from this research involves a man who accurately described the location of his dentures and the details of his resuscitation while he had no brain function. There was at least one similar case of true perception during NDEs in the recent AWARE study by Dr. Sampania. Kenneth Ring and Sharon Cooper produced near-death experience reports and out-of-body experiences in the blind. Cases become even more striking, with people who were blind, sometimes from birth, reporting visual perceptions during NDEs, describing operating rooms, staff, and their own bodies, which are then confirmed to be true. We find similar striking cases reported by Penny Sartori and Bruce Grayson. Clute and Levy said the following: across multiple studies, patients report clear, structured experiences and accurate perceptions during these windows when the brain should be incapable of producing normal consciousness. Put together, the argument is powerful. Mental images and consciousness resist reduction to physics, and near-death data show awareness when the brain has effectively shut down. If consciousness can exist without a working brain, then the existence and survival of a soul is not just a matter of faith. It becomes a live, evidence-based hypothesis.